nationally, continentally, and intercontinentally. They saw him as somebody worthy in learning and character, having been awarded the degrees of the prestigious University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University in Ife. The federal government has called him. He had been the DG of the Federal Environmental Protection Agency, and when he served meritoriously without stain, the federal government of Nigeria decided to appoint him to oversee the activities, administrative activities, technical activities of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in all spheres of his endeavor. He was appointed the head of service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and is here seated in His Majesty, Professor Dapo Afolabi. I want to thank all of you for clapping for the Master of Ceremony. Let me see how you clap for him now. Thank you very much. Sir, we are proud of you, sir. Very much proud of you. Sincerely proud of you. In fact, you have generationally inspired all of us. And see the way you came out of the car, so unassuming, easy going. I want to be like you when I grow up, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, his humility is embarrassingly humble. You know, you see him and is this the former head of service? And it's just like this, and he was shaking hands with, even somebody like me shook hands with me. That's why I'm keeping this hand, though. I'm keeping it, nobody shakes me with this hand again. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I know the role you play in organizing this particular program. Mr. Vice Chancellor, please, I want you to note, sir, that it takes somebody with passion for academic excellence, particularly those who have the love of education at heart, for people like this to decide that this thing must hold here. And I know if you want to rent this place, I know how much it costs. I'm a student of English language. I know the difference between cosmopolitan and metropolitan. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, we have living legend here. Living legend in all ramifications. You know, when I was in school, they told us to be going to Ezekiah Oluwasami Library. Ezekiah Oluwasami is a professor, the second vice chancellor of the university, now of blessed memory. But there's somebody here who is a library on his own. If you go to him, you will read because he will tell you. Apologies to those who are not Yorubas here. They say, Aroba neba baitan. You know, when he was coming, unheaded, he's not using glasses like me, I'm sorry. And you could see everybody clearly. A living legend. An icon of immeasurable standing. Somebody whose mode of dressing portrays the rich cultural heritage of Yoruba land. I can see the beads on his neck. And the color of his scarf symbolizes one of the things that have the green, white, green of our national flag there. You know, at times I look at my age. My father died when he was 3 years to 90 years of age. They said he's a chemistry icon. I disagree. He's an academic icon. Because when you pin him down to chemistry, yes, when you pin him down to chemistry, you are localizing his mental faculty. He's an academic icon, a professor who taught the professors, that taught the professors, Who taught the professors that taught the professors that taught the vice chancellor? Is an ancestor that is living with us now. I'm talking of Professor Layi Ogunkoya. Bàbá o, bàbá o, bàbá o. Olúwa dá bàbá sí fún gbogbo wa. Bàbá o, bàbá o, bàbá o. Olúwa dá bàbá sí fún gbogbo. Please, with the kind permission of Professor Afolabi, Daddy, please, can you sit down, sir? Ẹ jókòó, sir. All of us remain standing. Now, how many of us are 90 years of age here? 90. Hey. Now, can we begin to clap until our claps reach 90? Please keep clapping. Look at them. 90 years of age in this Nigeria. I know what I'm saying. No? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, we can be seated now. So we have two nonagenarians here. Two people who are 90 years of age. 3. 80. 90 ni mo ń sọ. 90. You see, I don't like flaunting my age because I can say that Baba is just 2 years older than me, but I don't want to say that. I want to thank you, sir. Actually, the Department of Chemistry is celebrating him here today. There are 2 of them that we are celebrating. And we are also celebrating the pioneer Vice Chancellor of Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. These are fellow of Academy of Science, Professor Olusegun Ladimeji Oke. He's not here, but I've been told that somebody is okay. It's all right, sir. He's on his way. Please, even in absentia, let's put our hands together for him. Thank you very much. And of course, I would like to recognize yet another professor, another icon. You know, I don't know if it is age symbols for people to put on white. I know that when people are reaching the age of 90, 100, 101, they begin to put on white. Professor Isaac Ayola Light Ojo, Daddy, stand for recognition. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to appreciate the presence of the Dean Faculty of Science, and who by the grace of God is the chairman committee of all the deans we have in the university. A mathematician of note is here with his wife, Professor and Mrs. Yinka Additional. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first ever reunion of the Department of Chemistry, and it's coming during the tenure of a renowned professor, Ekiti-born academic icon, Professor Akin Akinlua. I was asking him early this morning that, Prof, you are putting on white. Where is the Agbada? And he responded. He said it will be an academic insult for him to wear Agbada, where all the icons like Baba are also putting on Agbada. Thank you very much. Now, please, before I go much further, I must recognize Chief Mrs. Okweoluwa Onasanya. Mommy, where are you? Thank you very much. And let me say this loud and clear, with the kind permission of Professor Dakwafolabi, that there is no law, edict, or decree in Lagos State that says you should not clap on Saturday. So when I mention our mothers here, let your applause be gender sensitive. Chief Mrs. Okweoluwa Onosanya, please let's appreciate Mama once again. Thank you very much. I have Mr. Bolaji Akinyemi in the house. Thank you very much. Mr. Layi Olaniyi, where are you, sir? Thank you very much. Mrs. Olajide Adeoye. Okay. Dr. Kainde Ashiru. Dr. Professor Bamiji and Dr. Mrs. Olagbegi. Thank you very much. Okay, that is 80 years of age. That's good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have Professor Adiremi Ogunfowokan here, former Dean of the Faculty of Science. Where are you? Former HOD, Department of Chemistry. Professor Ezekiel Ayoluyemi, former HOD. Where are you, Prof, sir? We have one of those who back chieftaincy titles in our university is Iyaiwe of OAU, former Dean Student Affairs, Professor Mrs. Latifa Durosimi. Professor Olanrewaju Owoyomi, where are you? Professor John Oyekunle, Director, Central Science Lab. Thank you very much. Professor Said Adekunle. Professor Adeniyi Adenuga. Professor Kayode Sanusi. Professor Temitope Olomola, my brother. That is the chairman of the local organizing committee. Professor Olusegun Otemoyiwa. Professor Ronke Okoya, Director of Ecology. Dr. Kende Awokoya. Dr. Vincent Oninla. Dr. Rema George. Dr. Lukman Olasukami, the Vice Dean of the Student Affairs. That's a good ambassador there. Dr. Olatomi Defadare. I have Mrs. Wura Ola Akimbola. Yes, Mr. Solomon Durodola and Engineer Okpeyemi Aliyu. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, those that I just mentioned are of the Department of Chemistry of our prestigious university. May I humbly appreciate somebody who has used chemistry to do so many things in this country. When I saw him and introduced him to me, I say, but his complexion, my own complexion advertises his product. He's here seated, easygoing, is the Chief Executive Officer of Tropical Naturals Limited, and is an alumnus of Chemistry Department and the keynote speaker. By the grace of God, he has used chemistry to do so many things. Unassuming, easygoing, kind, diligent. Well, is figure one and is emotionally handsome. Is the maker of multiple chemistry-based products, Dudu Ocean Soap, and Dune Chocolates. Please stand for recognition, sir. Thank you very much. Dudu Osun. Dudu Osun. Dudu Osun. I'm not going to make comments, but sir, you understand what I'm saying? I've done marketing for you now, and I'm going to get paid. because Arise TV is here, Lagos Television is here, my news agency of Nigeria is here, The Punch is here, and of course, The Guardian and This Day are on their way. Yes, on this note, I would like to appreciate an alumnus. We were together at the Student Union in the 80s. At times I'm also, always happy when I'm speaking of the 80s too. When our Baba will be speaking of 50s and Professor Aflabi is speaking of 60s. And, at times I have my juniors here. Yes. I graduated in 1990 AD after the death of our Lord. So when I'm speaking of the 80s, those who are looking up to me will say, man, you dagba. So in this garden, we have the Old Testament and we have the New Testament of University of Ife and Obafemi Awolowo University Ife. My name is Abiodun Olarewaju. I'm the PRO of Obafemi Awolowo University. Because of our time, let me say that we shall be doing this introduction in phases. I would like to call on the head of the department to officially welcome all of us here to this occasion. I want to introduce Segun Olaniyi. Segun Olaniyi, where are you? Yes, thank you very much. Oh, please, that is not the way to clap for my colleague. It was in the Students' Representative Councils, and when they were doing constructive aluta, it's among those who decided to confront the military junta there that this country must return to democracy. Segun, thank you. Thank you. And there is a lady I want to show here. We met yesterday, and it's been part and parcel of the family of this university. She's the Olori of one of the children of Kabiesi Oni of Ife. She's the Chief Executive Officer of Honey Cedars Events. Very beautiful, elegant, with moderate stature and height. Jocelyn Ademiluye, where are you? Now, please, can you wave? They want to see you. She's been a very fantastic ally since yesterday. Olori, thank you. Thank you very much. Head of department, please come forward to formally welcome all of us here to this occasion. Let me see your reactions to that. No. And you should have allowed him to do exercise. I want to see whether I can jump here.
I would say, and start by saying good morning. I recognize the presence of my ancestor, the visionary father of Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife, in person of Professor Adebayo Simeon Bamire. Then sitting close to him, the Deputy Vice Chancellor R&D, Professor Akane Akeyemi. And I will go to greet next Professor Layi Ogunkoya, the father and grandfather of chemistry. Though not yet to Professor O.L. Okay, the pioneer vice chancellor of Ladoke Akintola University, probably is online. Then the host for this event, Professor Dapo Afolabi, former head of service of the Federation, the Dean Faculty of Science, Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife, Professor Yinka Adesina, our alumni, many of them are here, I can see Mr. Asik Oronibagbe. I can see Dr. Bosun Oladimeji. He was with us before, because of money, then he ran away. So he is with us today. And all the alumni in the house, I greet you. The gentlemen of the press, our invited guests, the MD of Lotus Bank, represented by Mr. Adeleye Adebisi, is in the house. Another invited guest, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to start by expressing my profound gratitude to the Almighty God, who in His infinite mercy grant all the opportunity to witness this day. Though I've acknowledged the presence of the eminent God, personalities, who in His infinite mercy alumni grant all the opportunity to witness this day. It is also important for me to express I've acknowledged the presence of the eminent God, personalities, who in His infinite mercy alumni grant all the opportunity to witness this day. It is also important for me to express I've acknowledged the presence of the eminent personalities who in His infinite mercy host of this event today, whose advice and unrelenting efforts motivated us as a department to put this event together. I appreciate the encouragement and support of the Vice Chancellor of OAU and the Dean, Faculty of Science. Abafan University, formerly University of Ife, was established in 1961, but commenced academic activities in 1962, with Department of Chemistry as one of its founding departments. Therefore, the Department of Chemistry is as old as the university itself. At inception, the department was essentially staffed with foreign academic staff, with very few Nigerian academics. The founding faculties and whole professors laid down a great legacy, mentoring and producing seasoned academics of Nigeria descent. The department currently prides itself as the largest department in the university, with the current academic strength of 35 academic and 12 non-academic staff. Based on the current composition of the department, 95 of our academic staff have PhD, while 82 are in their professorial cadre, that are associate professors and professors. Our highly competent and seasoned academics who receive quality local and international trainings. The department are specialists in nearly all aspects of chemistry, including the emerging areas. This fact attests to the quality and quantitative strength of our personnel in the Department of Chemistry, OAU. As a department, we are committed to academic excellence at all levels, both postgraduate and undergraduate. Though the department started with only BSc chemistry program, our BSc industrial chemistry program, we started in 2003, has also graduated hundreds of industrial chemists. We continually adapt our curricula in the two programs to current developments in the vast world of chemistry. And we strive to groom students who are seasoned enough to fit into a globally competitive work environment. The Department of Chemistry is one of the departments with highest annual research publication output in the universities. As part of our research collaborative effort, we continue to establish linkages with universities around the world. Our mission is to promote collaborative research effort for the advancement of knowledge and to empower our graduates to be self-reliant and productive in their chosen careers. Our vision is to be a top-rated department, to be reckoned with globally as a focal point for town and gown, using our scientific capacity to meet societal challenges by providing solutions to economic and socio-cultural problems. However, the department, just like most science-based departments in public higher institutions in Nigeria, lacks modern facilities required to train 21st century chemistry students. While our staff continue to do their best in training our students at the global standard level, it is becoming increasingly difficult to achieve this goal. This is due to lack of laboratory infrastructure, lack of basic and advanced chemistry equipment, moribund library facilities, and a stable power supply. It is in a bid to rescue the department from the shambles that the decades of dereliction have thrown it into, that the department decided to set up a committee on smart chemistry project. This project started with special interactions with some of our retired professors, especially Professor Folabi and Professor Subiojo, from which the idea of a unique retreat was birthed. The staff retreat synthesized entrepreneurial ideas that are currently being pushed to advanced stages. The department now has a paint manufacturing plant on OAU campus, courtesy of support received from Mr. Biola Ogunrinde, a distinguished alumnus of the Department of Chemistry, OAU. And we also received institutional support from the Mr. Vice Chancellor for the takeoff of the paint factory. We are also in the process of cultivating a large hectares of land for production of cassava to generate industrial chemicals. We are now at a stage where we feel our yearning for a 21st century academic environment should be presented to well-meaning Nigerians, lovers of quality scientific education, and our living ancestors, our mentors. Of course, our distinguished alumni, who believe we offer unprecedented assistance to the department out of the philanthropic gestures. A session of this event will also inaugurate the maiden executive of OAU Chemistry Alumni Association, with the view that these respected individuals will lay a solid foundation for OAU Chemistry Alumni Association, which in the long run will serve as a fundamental pillar of support to the department as it is found in notable universities around the globe. Distinguished guests, alumni, and philanthropists, I welcome you warmly to this highly important event, and thank you sincerely for honoring our invitation as I leave the podium for others section 2 of the events. I implore you to follow the series of upcoming presentations that will be put together to shed more light on our vision towards building a vibrant and world-class chemistry department, which is our goal. Thank you for coming, and God bless you.
That was the head of Department of Chemistry. Please, let's appreciate him once again. And I want to thank him because as part of his largesse, somebody who is open-handed, he has decided to forget his phone here and give it to me. I appreciate Venerable Leke Dina. Where are you, sir? Venerable Leke Dina. Thank you very much. That's my Lord Spiritual there. Dr. Boson Ladimeji, an alumnus. Where are you, sir? Dr. Boson, please help me put hands together much louder for him. Well, because of time, I want to crave indulgence that we begin to stand on the already established protocols so that we go straight. Because I have the instruction of the former head of service that we should not belabor the patience of our living legends and icons. I call on the Dean, Faculty of Science, Professor Adeyinka Adeshina. He will be coming here alone without his wife.
Good morning or afternoon. Oh, good afternoon. Well, like as instructed by the MC, I'm going to stand on the existing protocol. However, it is important for me to acknowledge the Vice Chancellor of this university, our working Vice Chancellor, Professor Simeon, Adebayo Simeon Bamire, and the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation and Development, Professor Connie Akiyemi. Posterity will not forgive me if I fail to acknowledge Professor Layi Ogunkoya. The first time I heard his name was from Professor Afuwakpe, my late supervisor, who didn't do chemistry in his O-level, but was very lucky to have met Professor Layi Ogunkoya, who encouraged him, despite his no knowledge of undergraduate O-level chemistry. Thank you so very much. And of course, the man that put today's event together, Professor, our respected Professor Dapo Afolabi, the head of the department, we appreciate you. It gives me immense pleasure and profound sense of pride to welcome you all to this historic gathering, the inaugural alumni meeting of the Department of Chemistry, held alongside the launch of the Smart Chemistry Project fundraiser. We thank God for today. This is a great initiative. Kudos to Professor Dapo Afolabi, the head of the Department of Chemistry, and all members of staff, academic, non-teaching, and technical staff of that department. Today's event is significant for two major reasons. First, it represents the formal beginning of a long overdue and deeply needed alumni association, one that will serve as a bridge between our department's rich past and its promising future. Second, it marks the unveiling of an ambitious and forward-thinking initiative, the Smart Chemistry Project, designed to transform the department into a hub of excellence in scientific teaching, research, and innovation. Over the decades, the Department of Chemistry has played a central role in the training of competent scientists who have gone on to contribute to academia, industry, government, and public service. Yet, we must acknowledge that scientific education today demands far more than it did in the past. It now requires cutting-edge tools, immersive experiences, and teaching that mirrors the demands of modern science and technology. This is precisely what the Smart Chemistry Project seeks to address. It is an investment not only in infrastructure, but in our students' capacity to learn, innovate, and lead. With this project, the aim is to equip our laboratories with state-of-the-art instruments, ensure hands-on training for all students, and foster a culture where critical thinking and creativity are part of everyday academic life. For true innovation to occur, our students must be exposed to the kind of training that ignites curiosity, deepens understanding, and inspires problem solving. A well-equipped laboratory is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is the workshop where theories are tested, new ideas are born, and scientific breakthroughs are made. With access to the right tools and exposure to advanced techniques, our students can better apply their knowledge to tackle real-world problems, thereby contributing to national development through science and innovation. Moreover, we all believe that this initiative will not stand in isolation. As chemistry department takes bold steps forward, we hope that the Smart Chemistry project will inspire similar transformation across departments in the Faculty of Science and in the university, and of course, and we hope that this will percolate to institutions nationwide, creating a ripple effect of educational renewal and scientific progress. We are deeply honored to have with us today distinguished alumni. Thank you so very much for all that you have been doing, that you still remember your institution. As the Dean of the faculty, I so much thank you. Thank you very much. Generous philanthropists, respected leaders from government and industry, and friends of the university, your presence affirms your commitment to education, to progress, and to the vision we share for a more innovative and self-reliant Nigeria. To our alumni in particular, we are proud of your achievements and even prouder to welcome you back. We urge you to lend your support, not only to today's project, but to the continued growth of the vibrant alumni community that will stand as a pillar of support for generations to come. As part of today's celebration, it is with great honor and heartfelt gratitude that we also recognize two towering figures in the history of this department, Professor O.L. Oke and Professor Layi Ogunkoya, who are now in their 90s. These respected Nigerians, with decades of dedication to teaching and mentoring, laid the intellectual foundation upon which many of our achievements rest. Their students include some of the brightest minds in the academia today, including many that are here. We celebrate their longevity, legacy, and lifelong service to education and humanity. And we pray that God will continue to bless them for us. On behalf of the Faculty of Science, I express heartfelt appreciation to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Simeon. I used to say Simeon before Adebayo. Professor Adebayo Simeon Bamire, who has a great vision and is turning a new page in our university, encouraging so many people to come into our campus, invest, partner with the university. OAU, University of Ife, is not what it used to be before. We now have and working together for a common purpose of lifting our university in the right direction and not forgetting what our past leaders have done. For this, Mr. Vice Chancellor, thank you so very much. May God continue to strengthen you. Of course, the DVC and the HOD of chemistry, and to all who have made this event possible. May this gathering serve as a seed that grows into lasting partnership, enduring impact, and shared pride in the Department of Chemistry that is prepared to lead into the future. Once again, I thank Professor Dapo Afolabi, and thank you all, those who are here in present, for your time your presence, and your belief in this cause. Thank you so very much.
The Dean, Faculty of Science, and the Chairman, Committee of all the things we have in the university. Let's appreciate him once again. I would like to appreciate the presence of those who have been following us, those who are online, our online guests. Thank you very much for being here, for your time and attention there. I would like to recognize Mr. Adeleye Adebisi, ably represented by the MD Lotus Bank, ably represented by Alhaji Kafilat Araoye. Madam, where are you? Alhaja Kafilat Araoye. Okay. Mr. Isaac Orolugbagbe, a 1980 alumnus of our university. Where are you, sir? Just like I announced much earlier, we have no intention of stressing the patience of our legends who are here, particularly our Baba, who is 90 years of age, who want to do everything quickly. And I will again reemphasize that I'm altering this program with kind permission of Professor Dakwa Folabi to suit the niceties of this moment. After the speech of the Vice Chancellor, we go straight to the celebration of our icon. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bible tells us that Jesus Christ had 12 disciples, and I'm calling on the 12th substantive Vice Chancellor of Oba Awon University, Professor Adebayo Simeon Bamire. Ire Kabiti. There is nothing that is happening to you. Even if you want to cry, the VC will say Ire.
Thank you very much. Yeah, let me actually start by appreciating God for this great opportunity and for granting us this day as planned. I am always happy being opportune to meet with our alumni at every point in time. And so when God gives us the opportunity to meet like this, I always give him the glory. So help me praise God and thank him for this. Thank you very much. Now, let me start by really acknowledging the presence of the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation, and Development that came with me to this very occasion. But I will use the opportunity also to introduce you and let you know other principal officers, even though they are not here. They are all here with us in spirit. So we have the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic in person of Professor Babalola. The Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Daramola. Thank you. We have University Registrar, Mr. Kamaldeen Bakari. The University Librarian, Dr. Mrs. Fadehon. And then the University Bossa, Mrs. Abogon. To be sincere, most of them are outside here trying to do one thing or the other that has to do with the university. That's why I had to actually mention their names because they will have been here. So apologies on their behalf for not being here now. Again, I'll start by appreciating our father that is here, Professor Ogunkoya. To work with sir. Thank you for all your leads. Thanks for the guide. Thanks for even finding time to be here now. May God continue to strengthen you. May you continue to live in good health. Thank you, sir. Just like the PRO said, we always love to have the young ones coming to see this sort of event and looking at our father who had been, so active, still here with us. We cherish you a lot, sir. Eshegon. The chairman, Committee of Deans, the Dean of Science, who doubles as the chairman, Committee of Deans. He's heading about 14 deans now. So when you see that head, that single head, there are 13 added to it. Let me use this opportunity to actually appreciate you and thank you. Thanks for your vision and your visionary leadership there. Thanks for the way you have accepted the thoughts of administration towards ensuring that we start the process of decentralization and try to move towards ensuring that everybody contributes to the interest of the university. This is highly appreciated. We have had you have done a lot of things, but I don't think this is the time to reel out those now. Thank you very much. Let me just delve into the head of department as well. Professor Akinlua. Thank you very much. I don't know, Baba, you were under the tutelage of Professor Afolabi for a long time, I think. I think that's where you got that inspiration. Thank you very, very much for all you've been doing. Sir, it's been so fantastic. He's been doing a lot of things. He has pulled a lot of resources into that department by moving out of the traditional ways of sourcing for funds, relying on the university, but moving all out. And he has been able to garner a lot, including ensuring that he moves you to providing an instrument that is part of, like the title of this thing, smart chemistry. Since the time that instrument, that equipment came into the department, everybody had been smart. We really want to thank you for this, we appreciate you. You see, it's one thing to really want to do something, another thing for you to get it done. It has to do with a lot of push. This is the first reunion of the alumni in the department. It tells a lot of stories. Who initiated it? Who made it possible? Who were his contacts? Who are the people that responded to him? Why do we have the set of people that we have within the hall now? Thank you very much. God will continue to strengthen you with those thoughts. Let me also, before I go to our father, my teacher also, special teacher new, let me acknowledge the presence of Professor Uju. Thank you very much, sir. It appears you're also looking young now, and we want to thank God for your life. We appreciate you for all you've been doing. May God continue to strengthen you. Professor Afolabi, I don't know what to say. Anyway, the English, the PRO, who is a student of English, I described you in different ways, and actually is correct in all ways. You are, we look unto you with respect to so many things. Your humility is special in all forms. No, when you see people that have actually grown through the system and have been able to reach such heights that you have reached and you are still going on, when one will begin to wonder. So we have people like this that can just remain humble. And you may not be able to really tell whether it is 1,000 that is in his pocket, 1,000,000 that is in his pocket, 1 billion or 1 trillion. But I know, I don't want to talk too much, but then I know God will enrich you beyond the trillion that we may be talking about. Thank you very much. You are a good role model. You are a great image maker. We cite you at any point in time when we talk about the way you have been doing things, promoting the university, and as well committing yourself to doing some things for the university. The growth of the department is the growth of the university. It's the growth of the faculty. And you have been doing a lot along that. So, sir, what we'll just say is that for all those that have been contributing, including others that have actually been doing different things also to support the cause of the department and the faculty and university at large, we'll continue to pray and pray that God will continue to replenish you in folds beyond your imagination. Thank you very much for all you've been doing. And then by your side there, it's Mr. Ogunride Duduosu. This is Duduosu that I was trying to. Thank you very much, sir. Prof, sir, by the time you get to the department now, you see a changed department. We call that place White House. But at a particular point in time, it was becoming black. But we thank God for the current transformation, that the outlook is now looking white, even whiter than what it used to be. By virtue of your great contributions, I want to thank you. Let me refer to the dean again. You know, this thing is also very great. In fact, it's walking around the entire faculty of science, irrespective of whether it's biological or physical. The painting has transcended the White House to the other end there. So thank you very much for all that you are doing again. And I actually want to thank all the alumni that have been contributing to this. You see, I was in a reunion just like this, and I found out that we have an asset or a resource that we've not been tapping into as such. Maybe because of our traditional ways of sourcing for funds that we depend on, that is looking on to government as the only source of funds. But you find out that we have the alumni that are outside there, philanthropists, lovers of education, all outside there, that are ready and very much committed to doing something within the educational sector where we don't reach them. But through some of these great initiatives that we have been able to come up with, we found out that the alumni are really, really very passionate about the university and wants to do something. And they've been doing it. They are coming in. Let me give recognition to all our professors that are here. Professor Oluyemi, thank you very much. We appreciate you. And our LSB lecturer and professor, thank you very much. We've had some discussions this morning, very great. And I think that is something that is really, that tells of the thoughts our alumni have respect to the university and changing the entire structure, even of the nation. Professor Drosimi, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Thanks for being there at all times. We appreciate you. And the director, a special director of the Institute of Ecology, thank you very much. Professor Mrs. Okoya. Professor Olomola. When did you come in? Thank you very much. Oh. You know, we were in I think a meeting yesterday. And I was like, oh, thank you for all you've been. Let me just stop there. Professor Afolabi, please. We were discussing one thing this morning. These are the people that are really ensuring that we are really in good shape. So thank you very much. My friend, Professor Remy, thank you very much. Just like I've been saying, your camp makes me happy at every point in time. And then the director, Central Science Lab, we see you. Let me recognize everybody within the house, ladies and gentlemen. I really want to appreciate you. I want to thank everyone that has made time to this particular occasion. Smart chemistry, and added to it is fundraising. Let me congratulate all of us in the first instance for being part of this gathering, because you left your home, created time for it, you drove down, even with very, very good roads, to be here today. I also want to thank those online being part of us. Thanks for your various contributions before now. Thanks for the thoughts that you have to continue to contribute. And we'll continue to pray that God will continue to enrich you accordingly. I want to just say one or two things. Even the dean and the HOD had actually told us what smart chemistry is all about. Enhancing excellence in academics, research, and community service. That's just simple. Creating the enabling environment for effective and efficient working of the system in its entirety. And that is it. And so, for wanting to do that and contributing to that, really want to appreciate you. But let me lead you to something. That Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation, and Development that you see sitting down there, had actually fashioned out a lot of things. We have had opportunities to have people come. These are alumni also to the university to do some very laudable investments. The first R that stands for research. One of our alumni accepted and is already building up a research center for the university. Another alumni came up through some programs and decided to take up the I within RID and accepted to build a center for innovation for the university. Oh, that's not all. Another person came up and accepted to build a center for development for us. So we are like now thinking that what do we do? There may be need for us to extend that office a bit, incorporate something else in there. Because another alumni had decided to build a leadership, an international leadership center for us there. The implication is this, sir. Should we end it at RID or we say RIDL? Because there's another thing that is coming. Somebody, somehow, somewhere is also thinking of building a center for governance. So we now have RIDL and G. The and means a lot also. You know, OAU, the way OAU was constructed is unique in form. We have walkways around there. So the walkways from R to I to D to L and to G is that and. So we really want to thank God for you and thank God for the university. And that's how the university grows. The government is trying its own capacity, but the government cannot in any way be sufficient to really ensure that we maintain the standards in that great university, and as well as ensure that, particularly those structures, you know, they are very solid structures. It's much, much easier to have a new structure built up than to renovate and rehabilitate a very strong structure that is dilapidating. And that's what we have for now. But we thank God for the alumni coming as individuals, coming as chapters, coming as collectives, and coming even as a global group to support the university in ensuring that most of the utilities, most of the blocks are being catered for. So, on this note, I want to wish us all the best as we try to support the cause of the institution. We have been doing it, but it's like Oliver Twist. We need more of that support. We want those within and those in diaspora to continue to put the university in mind to ensure that at least we are able to maintain the vision of our forefathers. The forefathers, we always say, have done a lot. The structures built in there, built over 60 years ago, still meet the taste of this current time. So what should be our own thinking? Definitely our own thinking should be like, whenever we want to do anything, we should project beyond this current time and be looking to, when I said 60, the keynote speaker told me it's even 100. And that is it. And that's the way to go. We'll just continue to pray along that God in His mercy will continue to guide every one of us to making the rightful decision to move the university forward together. And so on this note, I want to declare this particular reunion launched and opened. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor has just spoken, and I want you to appreciate him once again. For the next item on this program, please, my visitor, please don't go yet. Please come. Yes, I know. Please, let him come. VC, please. I know what he wants to do, but this program concerns him. Sorry, Olori. After this program, the VC will come and do the interview there. We want to skip some aspects of this program to go to the next one so that we answer to the cultural call of our celebrated icon. And to do justice to this, I want to call on Professor Ayo Oluyemi to please come forward. We're moving on to the celebration of our icons there. So we want to jump before we go on to the other items there.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please, with the kind permission of the Vice Chancellor and Professor Dapo Afolabi too, I want to stand on the existing protocol because of time. I recognize all the important dignitaries in this gathering. Please permit me to go straight to the point. It is time now to celebrate the two giant icons of chemistry of Obafemi Awolowo University. They can be regarded as the great grandfathers of chemistry in OAU. The two of them, by the special grace of the Almighty God, has crossed over and they are now non-Nigerians. We want to thank God for the lives of Professor L. Ogunkoya, who is here. Can we put our hands together? And also Professor O.L. Oke, who is unavoidably absent because he's out of the country. Can we put our hands together also for him? They are architects of future generations, and their impact is immeasurable. Their works have produced men and women of academic and professional excellence. We are proud to be associated with these people as our teachers. Anywhere I go, I'm always proud to beat my chest and say, I was a student of Professor O.L. Oke or Professor L. Ogunkoya. So when anybody is talking about Professor Ogunkoya, oh, it's my teacher, people will respect me for that, for having the privilege of learning under this great man. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting our time, I want to invite Professor Tope Olomala to come and read the citation for Professor Layi Ogunkoya.
Okay, so all protocols duly observed. Prof will remain seated. It's fine. we understand. Tributes to Professor Lai Anyila Ogunkoya at 90. A lifetime of chemistry, character, and contribution. Professor Lai Ogunkoya was born November 7, 1934. It is with immense joy and reverence that we celebrate a living legend, a quintessential academic, a mentor to generations, and a pillar of integrity, our very own Professor Lai Anyila Ogunkoya, as he has now joined the rare and distinguished ranks of nonagenarians from the 7th day of November 2024. Born in the historic town of Ijebu-Igbo, Ogun State, into the Olobu quarters of Okeshokpen. Professor Ogunkoya's early life reflected both humility and promise. Raised by his grandmother and later reunited with his father in Ibadan, young Lai began a formal education journey that would span nearly 3 decades of uninterrupted scholarship, a journey filled with discipline, distinction, and devotion to learning. From Quranic school and primary education in Ibadan to hallowed halls of Government College, Ibadan, on a government scholarship, and onward to more plantation for agricultural training, his intellectual path was both diverse and focused. With the support of a Western Nigeria government scholarship, he completed his intermediate BSc in agricultural chemistry at University College, Ibadan, before venturing abroad to earn a BSc Hons in chemistry from University of Glasgow in 1962, where he was awarded the Joseph Black Prize for Excellence. He proceeded to Imperial College London, where he earned his PhD in organic chemistry in 1965 and received the prestigious Edmund White Prize for outstanding research, along with a diploma of Imperial College, DIC. His academic accolades, thank you. His academic accolades were many, but they only set the stage for a career that would impact lives across continents. Professor Ogunkoya joined the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, in 1965 and served with distinction for 35 years. He rose through the ranks to become Professor of Organic Chemistry in 1979 and contributed selflessly as a lecturer, department leader, administrator, and respected mentor. His contributions extend far beyond the classroom. A man of remarkable consistency and diplomatic grace, he successfully worked under 8 vice-chancellors at Obafemi Awolowo University and undertook visiting fellowships across universities in Africa, Europe, and North America. His scholarly footprint spans more than 6 decades and 20 universities, bringing with it a legacy of integrity, humility, and academic excellence. Perhaps one of his most defining service moments came in 1999 when he was called upon to restore order as acting vice-chancellor of Olabisi Onabanjo University amid crisis. In a testament to his character and capacity, he was described by the Ogun State government as integrity-laden, of firm disposition, humble, and a disciplinarian of sorts. Beyond research and leadership, Professor Ogunkoya has always been a dedicated teacher and mentor. He is celebrated by generations of students for his commitment to excellence, deep subject knowledge, and fatherly guidance. 2 institutional prizes awarded annually since 2002 to top performing chemistry students in organic spectroscopy and organic reactions and synthesis are named in his honor, a reflection of how indelibly his influence is etched into academic tradition. He remains a respected member of the Royal Society of Chemistry, United Kingdom, and the Chemical Society of Nigeria, and he received tributes as a mentor, destiny enabler, and builder of both intellect and character. I beg your pardon. His service as chairman of Congress of Ijebu-Igbo Community and Ijebu-Igbo Council of Elders further reflects a life committed to conflict resolution, tradition, and well-being of his people. His efforts were key to restoring a 2-decade Obaship tussle, earning him not just respect, but deep gratitude from his hometown. Those who know Professor Ogunkoya describe him as charming, positive, generous, and quietly impactful. Despite the inevitable trials of life, his steadfast joy, principled convictions, and unshakable faith continue to inspire everyone who crosses his path. At 90, his life is a rare fusion of scholarship and service, brilliance and benevolence, the very embodiment of a life well lived and still given. Happy 90th birthday, Professor Lai Ogunkoya. May God's grace, strength, and peace continue to surround you. May your wisdom multiply, your joy overflow, and your legacy live on. In every student you taught, you uplifted. You have given us my status and a reason to celebrate. Congratulations, sir, and thank you.
We help Professor Ogunkoya to move to that place to cut the birthday cake. We have the birthday cake for Prof. Please, thank you. What are you very fast?
Yeah. Now, Baba alone for now. Cameras, please get set. You have just 30 seconds to do that. Thank you very much. And after that, please, Mama, join them. The family, members of the family, please join Baba now. Quickly. Members of the family, please join Baba. Thank you very much for that. We don't want to keep him standing for too long. And after that, Professor of the family and the Vice Chancellor alone will come. Vice Chancellor Professor Afolabi, please. Madam. Yeah. If you join hands with Baba, I want the three of you to put your hands there. Yes, thank you very much. Please. Not yet. We don't want to see it. And the dean of the faculty and the head of the department, please come around. The dean. Yes. Thank you very much. Okay. DVC, please join us. Thank you very much. Femi, thank you very much. No, yes, please, let's take the pictures very quickly. Yes, thank you very much. Are you true? Now, please, let's leave Baba alone here and the VC and the Professor Mulabi will be here. And let's quickly sing. Happy birthday to you, Baba. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Baba. Happy birthday to you. We wish you many happy returns of this day. Long life and prosperity. The guest speaker is so much
to be with him. I can make that sunrise in our side. I can make you shine bright from the inside.
Yes. Yeah, our voice. So please be here.
Baby, you show this for my
Mama, to me.
life. And so I sing this for you.
Where's the wife? Oh, yeah, please come. Now.
Every day.
Oh, yeah, come. That lady dancing. That please come. Quickly. Yeah, make it happy. We don't want to keep quiet.
Every day.
Oh, yeah, please. Proper. I want one more lady. Okay? No, want to be 4. Now let's make it quickly. Camera. Thank you very much. You are owing me something. I'm not hearing you. Are you true? Thank you very much. All the former deans who are here, former deans, please say. Former deans of the Faculty of Science. And the HOD. And the HOD is to please make it snappy. Former HOD is please. Increase the volume of that. Former HOD, please, let's make it quickly. Yes, thank you very much. Camera, please, let's Oh, yeah, please. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. HOD, where are you? Please come and do this presentation. HOD. The bundle. Very much. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Please. Take it down, take it down, take it down. Now, please, from here. Go for it. Now, and you can see what it means. Let me have one hour.
Say what? Just a simple sentence. No, yeah, oh, yeah, got some there. No, that's it. I see. Well, I say categorically that for today, glory be to God.
Hallelujah.
Glory be to God. And I want to tell you all who are here today that for the past 2 years, it was 2 years ago, I enjoyed what I call excellent health. 2 years ago. But as at now, things have changed. I began to have vision problem since February last year. Vision problem. Movie, yeah, but just one of those things. It was also hearing problem. Ó mì rí pé nǹkan tẹ́ bá sọ, màá kàn gbọ́ díẹ̀ nínú ẹ̀ ni mi ò lè gbọ́ in full. Followed by mobility problem. I take this around. Èyí tó wà most embarrassing is memory problem. So, things have been going and going. Yeah. Okay. Therefore, the address I brought in has to be very brief. Very brief. Well, I must publicly thank God for my life in all ways, particularly for bringing me into the life with characters who made this meeting possible. Now, when I prepared this, mo rò ká ní wọ́n fẹ́ announce ìwé tá a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kọ ní. So I was talking about people responsible for this. Because kì í ṣe mi. I didn't have time. I didn't stand it. Àwọn tí wọ́n stand tí wọ́n kọ̀wé yìí ni mò ń sọ nǹkan nípa ẹ̀. Now, I want to go on. You will not know. People who worked under me at Ife,
We are young people, and they're my students there at Ife. I can say that I want to apologize to two of them. Ọ̀kan ni wọ́n wà níbí lónìí tó wá kí mi. In a way and manner in which I treated them. Mo jẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́. Mo jẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe iṣẹ́. Yes. Two of them. Yes. Jayola, Alhaji Jayola, I thought he would be here today. He's a very, very super big man now. Mo apologize pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Mo jẹ́ kó ṣe iṣẹ́ bó ṣe jẹ́ kó ṣiṣẹ́. There is Samuel Oniovosa. You should be, oh, yeah, that's him there. Yeah. He was my secretary. Mo jẹ́ kó ṣiṣẹ́ beyond limit. Àpárá àwọn òyà mọ́ ní ó láti ṣe iṣẹ́ ni. Yes. So now you know what they are now.
Yeah.
Àwọn méjèèjì. Àwọn tó ti ń ṣe iṣẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ mi tó ti take unusual care of me. Kò yé mi mọ́ ṣe ń ṣe since I retired. Dáa ẹ̀wọ̀n dé yìí, mo ṣe mú ṣiṣẹ́ tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ as staff, ọ̀kan ní student, ọ̀kan ní staff. So bí ẹ sọ rí o. So àmì èjì yẹn, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn, mo dúpẹ́ kọ́ má bínú pé mo jẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́. Yes. And then, àwọn tí wọ́n kọ ìwé yìí, because my contribution to it was actually needed. Ìgbà tí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ̀wé yìí, about April or so last year, wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ìwé yìí. I discouraged them. Mi ò lágbára kọ̀wé yìí sí nǹkan. Last year, and if I publish the same year, they were to publish this book somewhere the same year. A minimum stop one because I wouldn't be able to respond to. They were asking me questions in community, and the moment yes, mo tabulate again. So vision me ko bossy, but hey, we are managing one way or the other. So I want to try to thank all of you to make it way possible. As a matter of fact, that's why I came for this meeting today. Into Bonnie Party, the new move, the university. So I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart, because I rely so much of my life on you people. So I thank you very, very much. Professor Afonja is not here today, but back on the meeting. Okay, all right. Ètí Afonja fúnra rẹ̀ kọ nípa mi, tèmi fúnra mo ti gbàgbé. You know, I live in Britain, in London, and then live back here. I forgot most of the things of late. Afonja ló kọ gbogbo ẹ̀, because we have been together since 1950. That we were together from elementary school. So I had a John Law from house to house. So he knew me very, very well. You know. So mainly like that. The author of this book, efficiency or when article in there, because I discouraged him by my inactivity. I carried on. So mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n o àtàwọn supporters ẹ̀, you know, did everything. So I want to thank you all. So nǹkan tí mo kọ pé màá sọ fún gbogbo yín nìyẹn. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. The vice chancellor Because of the numerical strength of the especially the Sherry, àwọn kan lè lọ sẹ́yìn ibẹ̀ yẹn. What can you and be the vice chancellor and yes, you have to yes. Action. Please, camera. I want you to show Vinci àti bàbá àti Ọmọsọfọlábí àti Vinci ló máa ní ìlú bàbá padà sí orí túbọ̀. Please, can we keep clapping for Baba as he's going?
Thank you so much. Professor Oeloke. Also, we had in the speech of the HOD, the pioneer lecturer in chemistry department of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. We want also to honor him, and Professor Dapo Afolabi, the first generation of the children of Professor Oke, is here and is standing in for the great icon. Let's put our hands together for Professor Afolabi. I will invite Professor Temuyiwa to quickly come and read the citation for Professor Oeloke. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. Still standing on the existing protocol, I am reading citation in honor of Professor Olusegun Ladimeji Oke at 90. From chemistry to cassava, celebrating a life of brilliant reaction and nutritious ideas. Today, we gather to celebrate a towering figure in Nigerian science, one whose intellectual habits are spanned from soil chemistry to nutrition, from cassava to cyanide, and whose catalytic influence continue to enrich academia, policy, and community life. At 90, Professor Olusegun Ladimeji Oke is not only a man of elements, but an elemental force in knowledge, elemental force of knowledge, impact, and gracious wit. Born on September 17, 1934 in Ibadan, and proudly native to Ijesha, Professor Oke took early steps towards scholarly greatness through CMS Grammar School, Lagos, and the Nigerian College of Art and Science and Technology, where he passed his A-level in physics, chemistry, and mathematics, because picking just one was never going to be enough. A hand first-class honor in chemistry from the University of Ibadan in 1959, at a time when earning a first class meant solving problems faster than the examiner could write them. He then pursued his PhD in soil chemistry at University of Reading, completing a pioneering thesis on organic phosphorus compound in soil, because he believed that even soil had stories to tell. But why stop at soil, a pivot that only through polymaths make? He studied nutrition at Cambridge University, adding yet another degree and discipline to his expanding toolbox, and likely improving the diet of colleagues along the way. Professor Oke was the first indigenous lecturer in chemistry department of the then University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, where he became a professor in 1976, serving as head of department, dean of science, and later acting director of the Center for Energy Research and Development. Between 1990 and 1997, he served as pioneer vice chancellor of Lautech Ogbomoso, showing that where there is no path, he was prepared to lay academic foundation himself. He also served as a visiting professor of nutrition at Howard University, proving that while the roots are local, his reach was global. Professor Oke's research outputs read like the national research agenda itself: leaf protein as a solution to malnutrition, cassava toxicity and how to detox it and make it delicious, fish nutrition and preservation, protein energy malnutrition, and traditional Nigerian technologies as developmental tool. And when funding was needed, Professor Oke knew where to find it. He attracted research grants from USAID, IDRC, Canada, International Atomic Energy Agencies, Christian AIDS, UK, and more, securing well over $600,000 in international research funding during a time when email was a novelty and vaccines ruled the world. Whether it was fish meat substitutes, cassava detoxification, endocrine changes in malnourished children, or amaranth as a miracle grain, he didn't just study food, he studied how to feed a nation. He also carried out a systematic analysis of Nigerian foodstuff, worked on food composition table, and planned a commercial plant for leaf protein concentrates to be incorporated into Nigerian Green Revolution program. A dedicated educator, he was the architect of what students affectionately or fearfully called duck and soup chemistry, a metaphorical reference to the intensity and depth of his academic demands. But beyond rigor, he brought compassion and clarity. He authored 8 books and over 120 scientific papers, supervised countless MSc theses, and produced a roll call of doctoral graduates who have themselves gone on to become professors, directors general, and national leaders. Among them, Professor M.A. Fafunsho, Professor O.A. Afolabi, former head of service, civil service, Dr. Oki, former DG, Nigeria Institute of Alpine Research, Professor S.R.A. Adewusi, Disoko of Ife, Professor B.O. Oshuntogun, Professor I. Ogunlade, and many more. His professional memberships and roles include Fellow Royal Society of Chemistry, UK, fellow Nigerian Academic of Science, FAS, Vice President from 2007 to 2010, fellow New York Academics of Sciences, National Merit Awards, Nigeria 2009, Officers of Federal Republic, OFR 2011. He also served on numerous national and international committees in nutrition, food science, and technology. He was the chairman of the Presidential Initiatives on Cassava 2002 to 2007. If Nigeria had a Ministry of Science, Nutrition, and Common Sense, he would have chaired it. Today, at 90, Professor Oke is more than a retired academic. He is a living archive, a natural resource, and a scientific statesman whose work has fed minds and stomachs alike. In an age of fleeting fame, he has built a life of substance, scholarship, and service, proving that the best chemistry is not just between atoms, but between ideas and impacts. So we raise our pipettes, textbooks, cassava tubers, and perhaps even a leaf or two in tribute to the legend of science, education, and public service. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀ṣà òṣèré onílẹ̀ obì. Ìjẹ̀ṣà orídìí ìsáná, ilé lẹ́rú ọwá tí ń múná lọ sóko. Professor Olusegun Ladimeji Oke, happy 98th birthday. May your years continue to multiply, and may your legacies continue to nourish generations to come in lab, lecture hall, farmland, and dinner tables across Nigeria and beyond. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Professor Temiwa. As I said earlier, Professor Ewa Folabi will stand for Professor Oke. I said Professor Afolabi was one of the first set of children of Professor Oke. I'm proud to be one of the grandchildren of Professor Oke. And if I taught you chemistry, you are great grandchildren. So that is how we are taking it. So, sir, with your kind permission, I want you to come and take the picture representing Professor O.L. Oke. From soil chemistry to food chemistry. Food grow on soil. If you are taught chemistry by Professor Oke and Professor Ogunkoya, can you wave your hand? Ah, that's good. Eh? Even Professor Ogunkoya. Ah, you are an old man.
Father here today, Professor Laye Ogunkoya, and other dignitaries here. On behalf of Professor Oke, I say thank you. One lesson here that I see is generational friendship. Professor Oke was met in the classroom. I met him in the classroom. And for some reason, I like what he was saying. And from that day, this was 1976. You know how old Professor Ke will be in 76 and how old I was. Treated me as a friend. And we became friends from that moment till now. But we have a trial. That's the confession. Professor Ke is slightly 10 years older than Professor Wale Omole. And Professor Wale Omole, slightly 10 years older than myself. But we became friends that we'll see every night at Ife. We will move from his house. That's where we have dinner. Of course, it was a top-up. We would have ate with our wives. Then we'll top up in his house. He had a big cellar, big cellar in his house of wines and all sorts of drinks collected from the world. So we'll go there, top that up. Where do you think we will end up? In the laboratory. That was how we were able to move in the academic upstep because yes, we enjoyed. At the same time, we worked hard. Yeah. So we now be returning home at about 1 a.m. every day. Though we will have 8 a.m. lecture, let's thank our wives for tolerating us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We are quite grateful. Yeah.
Yeah, when I said it was the former head of service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you can see the wisdom that he has exhibited in this program. Giving the idea, giving the advice, giving me his wisdom, let us celebrate the elders first. And that brings, Mr. Vice Chancellor, that all the products of your university have in mind that the motto of that school is for learning and culture. And exactly what Professor Afolabi demonstrated excellently and exhibited flawlessly today. Thank you, sir. We move on to the next item here. And that is the keynote address. Permit me to call on Dr. Rema George to please come forward to read the citation of the keynote speaker. Let's give a round of applause to the only lady that is too fair in complexion in our midst.
Good afternoon, everyone. I stand on existing protocols. This is the citation of Mr. Abiola Ogunride. Mr. Abiola Ogunride is the CEO, Managing Director of Cosmos Chemicals Limited, Tropical Naturals Limited, and Honeypot Nigeria Limited. Oh. Okay, I'll start again. Mr. Abiola Ogunride is the CEO Managing Director, Cosmos Chemicals Limited, Tropical Naturals Limited, and Honeypot Nigeria Limited. He graduated from University of Ile-Ife with a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry in 1978. Shortly after, he started his management career in the Technical Services Department of Unilever Nigeria in 1979, where he acquired skills in modern quality product and packaging development. As a production manager with Italian training in cooler manufacturing, that is polyurethane insulation boxes, he successfully started the Eleganza Industry Cooler Factory in 1985. As the works manager of Pyramid Ventures Limited Soaps and Detergent Factory, 1986 to 1992, he increased local content in machinery and raw materials and sometimes eliminated importation completely. His passion for local value addition was taken to a higher level in the companies he founded, that is Cosmos Chemicals Limited, Tropical Naturals Limited, and Honeypot Nigeria Limited, creating over 300 new jobs and championing in-house machinery building. Over the past 30 years, he has employed thousands of Nigerians directly and indirectly with the primary focus of value addition to local raw materials, from Dudu Osun, black soap, to Dunes chocolate. He has proven a track record of successful product development. Please, let's give him a round of applause for that. He is determined to put Nigeria's name on the world map of high quality products and is passionate about empowering young entrepreneurs to do the same. He will be speaking to us broadly over the topic, the potential of a smart-driven chemistry department. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends of chemistry, please make welcome with me Mr. Abiola Ogunrinde to deliver his keynote address. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Vice Chancellor, DVC, Professor Ladapo Afolabi, our father and my teacher, Professor Gunkoya, eminent professors, dean, smart faculty, fellow alumni, our greater tomorrow. I can't see any one of them. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are brought together here for a purpose, which has been numerously enumerated. I'll start by saying Tuesday this week, I was in University of Ife, or Obafemi Awolowo University, and I needed to use the toilet. There was running water. The toilet didn't flush. On June 30th last year, I was called by the department to have a discussion. And at the end of our discussion, the HOD gave me lunch. There was no power. My wife is an alumni of the University of Ife. She read demography. For over a year, she's requested for her transcript.
as we speak, she hasn't gotten it. In January 2003, I went for an entrepreneurship development course in MIT Sloan. And the technical people came visiting and we went around. And one professor, said he has a list of all the people, different people from different parts of the world. There's a gentleman from Nigeria in this midst. He has not sold any patent to Nigeria. So I should see him. He wants to sell patent. And what was going on in my mind at that time was, when would my department be able to make such sales? Smart men, smart faculty have put us here together, and they want us to join them on a transformative journey of transforming our department, and of course, by extension, the university, into the digital age. I believe we all support that noble objective. That's why we are here. We are surrounded by smart phone, smart TV, smart cars, smart materials. Of course, it's all about people. It's people that make it happen. So when we say smart, what do we really mean? Let's give a background. Background, please. Next slide. Yes, in 1876, Nikola Otto invented the internal combustion engine. This enabled industrialization and huge consumption of hydrocarbon, and the resultant consumption of what nature has used millions of years to synthesize in the ground. In under 150 years, we consumed and generated global warming. This is not sustainable. So we need a sustainable approach. Energy, next slide, please. In getting the sustainable approach, energy will be a very, very big contributor, especially electricity. And there will be chemical and electrical interface, which also be very important. Tremendous innovation will be required in the nanos, digital, and biological platforms. Our smart professors are trying to position our department to play a part in here so that they too can say, look, we have patents to sell. So smart chemistry is needed. Next slide, please. So that is one form of smartness. Another SMART, which is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound framework. You see, this, what is the name of this man? I think it's George Duran in 1981. He said there must be a framework to manage, projects. So he proposed that for goal setting and for evaluation, for it to be clear and result driven, it has to be specific. It has to be measurable. So this is another form of smartness. So which smartness is the chemistry department talking about? Yes, human smartness, smart materials, smart people, and if we have smart devices, like for instance, we have plastics made from polylactic acid that can heal themselves. If you cut and put them together, it will heal itself. We have materials that will respond to temperature or pressure, like quartz. If you press it together, it will generate electricity on both ends, used to power watches. This is all chemistry-based. So we need a department that can produce products in human beings, that is their students, products in research findings, products in process development. So we are here actually to support them in whichever way we can to make this dream a reality. Next slide, please. So why do we want to do that now? I understand in year one in chemistry department, we have 400 students. Year two, 700. Very large population, and the population is growing. And this will be an opportunity to tool the department to leapfrog into the next generation using smart technologies. The vision of the department is to produce facilities for research, to do research smarter and faster, leveraging on data, leveraging on collaboration, and to have students that would have access to laboratories without necessarily being in the laboratory. We employ graduates from different universities over many years. For instance, I will not mention the name of the university. I have students who got 2-1 and were in one laboratory. I said, please go to the other laboratory and bring another magnetic stirrer and a suspect extractor. After several minutes, it didn't show up. What happened? Go and he has not seen a magnetic stirrer before. He doesn't know what a sausage extractor is. So what the department is trying to do is to give access to underfunded students in underfunded universities, access to core laboratory experiences without being in the laboratory. The advantage of that is that they would not be a danger to themselves. They would know what the instrument looks like, the hazards of the reaction, and if they now have an opportunity, they will know, okay, this looks like this. This is how to titrate. This is how to conduct this experiment. Okay, and then for administration and bureaucracy, the department wants to reduce costs, increase efficiency. These are noble objectives. And what are they going to leverage on? Technology, of course, Internet of Things. In our country, where we have gross underfunding, we have, on one hand, people who are extravagant. And on the other hand, we have a large majority who do not have the funds. There are undergraduates who cannot afford laptops, but they are more likely to have smartphones than laptops. So there are apps that students can use, and Mobile first learning is one. So blended learning is another. The department is also talking of using low-tech tools like projector. This is a low-tech projector, animation videos that can be downloaded and utilized offline. But one very important part here is power. Because I mentioned that I was in the department and power went off. On the roof of the White House, I believe we have space for solar. I would want to propose, this is an aside from the presentation. I would want to propose that we would start by donating to the department a solar system mounted on part of the roof. I believe my fellow alumni here would join me, but we want to start it. It may not be for the whole place, but at least some instruments will be powered. Parts of the department would now have 24/7 power. We just want to kickstart that to inspire others to follow suit. We're not creating a competition, but we believe in the project and we want to get it started. Talking about laboratories, virtual laboratories, please. Slide 10, please. Yes. Okay, these are tools developed by universities. And the benefit of this, I've already mentioned, is that students who are not in the laboratory, who do not have a laboratory, would virtually see a laboratory setting and the reagents. If you have to buy chemicals, I buy a lot of chemicals from Sigma Aldrich because I do some research in renewables. There are some chemicals that are more expensive than gold. One of them is pyrometad. And if we have a government that is not funding universities, how are we going to conduct research? I would also propose another thing, that we use a lot of solvents. Let's take ethanol, for instance. The department can collaborate with biochemistry and produce their own ethanol. That's just one down. As the chemistry department, as the head of the department said, it's cultivating cassava. You can produce your own ethanol. Very small unit. You don't have to buy anything. Within the university community, between the fermentation, distillation, you would be able to also achieve an analytical grade. It will reduce your cost. And I believe that will not take you away from your core teaching and learning programs. Technology would afford personalized learning. We have adaptive quizzes, low-tech implementation through Google Forms. And then we move beyond isolated instruments to holistic, interconnected, data-driven research ecosystem. These technologies would require funding. They want to propose a low technology start, but there's no way that you are going to go higher without acquiring other technologies. Internet may look cheap, But when you have to use a lot of internet for students, it is not cheap. And getting servers on the campus requires lobbying government, looking for external funding. I would propose internal generated revenue. We can look inwards because all this smart infrastructure requires a lot of funding. It is when you start, then you will know that they are real huge. There are many open source tools like Autodeck, Avogadro, that can be used to simulate reactions. And what is the advantage of that? You're not going to go into the classroom or into the, into the laboratory, wasting material. If you simulate and you know which pathways to choose, it will help eliminate waste. It will help eliminate pathways that are not likely to yield your results quickly, and the like. Shared cloud-based resources, inter-university collaboration for equipment sharing, and then use of cloud drives, offline content syncing. I don't know how that would work, especially if, for instance, you have to use GC of a university in Port Harcourt. But it is possible to have hubs, regional hubs, where you can share those expensive instrumentation. But collaboration online has its own limitation, but there are possibilities. Then smart administration. If you have digital inventory tracking, this will help eliminate wastage. For instance, if you have a particular ingredient or a particular chemical or instrument that are running down and you are not using them, you'll be able to know, hey, what's happening? Is a student wasting the instrument? Is someone stealing? It will also be able to tell us reorder level. So it will be able to give the administrators real-time data for decision-making. Dashboards, the department has one now. I believe we should get some more. So fellow alumni, I think the department needs about 5 dashboards. You don't have to try to donate all, just one. And please try to reach out to your colleagues, especially the ones abroad. Locally, our revenues have been decimated by devaluation. I'm sure we know the devaluation of last year. But out there in the developed world, instruments and processes are being updated and renewed. For instance, in 2002, I went visiting one of our friends, Professor Simoy in Oregon. And I told him, things are not okay with our department. I need you to get me, whenever you guys are scrapping or taking your instrument away, I want to buy. And shortly after, he told me that he was coming down to Nigeria to do something for the American government. So he stayed with me. And he said he was going to donate a GC. It didn't happen. Or did he? I didn't know about it. HOD. Didn't happen. But I also did not follow through. So I take responsibility. But when you have colleagues out there, there are a lot of instruments, even though it is outdated there, to be useful here. So please use your connections. We will try to buy what we can new. We will change what is on the ground now, but we have to support with cash, with kind, with connection, and make that change so that when we go visiting, there will be light. So that when your wife needs her transcript, you just punch the computer and it comes out. Yeah, there are challenges. Slide 17, please. There are challenges, of course. Unreliable power and internet. Funding, I'm sure you know that even the American researchers will claim they don't have enough funding. So, apart from power and internet, every other challenge here is common to every country. Because resistance to change, it's human. Toxic work environment, I can name many examples abroad. And then the crab mentality, we say it's PhD, pull him down. Well, we have a lot of work to do in that direction. And education, like the department is saying, it's not out of unwillingness, but education. So we have to educate our people, not the faculty only, but the students as well. So everybody would be on board because we have to work together. Strategic solutions. We use offline solar tools and modular learning devices, build local servers to host e-resource for students, on-campus networks, leverage grants. Well, I'm sure the professors know how to get their money. But I am an advocate of self-reliance. And I believe that the university can generate its own money, first of all, from the alumni. And then university enterprises. Okay, we organize workshops, partner with IT and education departments, staff student training, we've mentioned that. Next slide, please. Start small. Digitize one process at a time. If we take physical chemistry and test, because it's a completely new area, we don't know how it will play out. In the industrial world, I mean, we want to introduce a new product or a new version of an existing product. We take one city or one region and put it in the market, get the feedback, see the challenges, and then if there are challenges, you quickly withdraw, you quickly modify. We won't behave like Coca-Cola that made new Coke, went global, and quickly had to retract. And they lost a lot of market share to Pepsi. It's a classic error. So I would advocate that let's take one department. Let's look at the department that would least affect the whole organization, that is the whole chemistry department. And then we build on the successes. Just like we are proposing a solar system for the key lecture theaters, for instance, where you have the most students, or where you have key research or certain instruments that should be running 24/7. But when I was an undergraduate, I could conduct experiments and leave some things running for 72 hours. But it's not so today. And on Tuesday, I used the toilet and the water was not flushing. Water was running in the wash hand basin, but the toilet wouldn't flush. This is not high tech. If the university would permit, I believe some of us would fund departmental boreholes. And I would personally encourage some people, you take this particular, because there are so many students and there are very few toilets. And where the toilets are, there's no running water. That is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. So I think those are the areas we want to take away first. Start with power and then take the water before we go to the high-tech things. Yes, I've mentioned internally generated revenue, outright sale of patents and inventions. You license or market your patent for royalties. Department and industry collaborations. These are ways to get money. Sorry. Slide 20. Chemistry department owned businesses. We've started with the paint. Another contribution that I feel we should make. Since 2019, we've had students from chemistry department, chemical engineering and mechanical coming to do IT in our factory. And we have positive results. For instance, year one, 2019, we got them to make biodiesel from palm kernel oil. And I presented them at the Chemical Society of Nigeria conference to show the professors that in 3 months, they made biodiesel and they run diesel generators with it successfully. 2020 was COVID, so we couldn't do anything. 2021, they made tissue paper from bamboo. I would also suggest that the department start creating, we have industrial chemistry. Let us do business chemistry. Business chemistry because we want the students to think entrepreneurially. Because if they think entrepreneurially as undergraduates, they will come out as job creators rather than job seekers. And that was exactly what we did. For instance, that year one, we actually funded the groups. We had 3 universities, Ife, Ibadan, and University of Lagos. And we got them to produce scouring powder, liquid detergent, and the biodiesel. And we said, now, for your scouring powder and your detergent, start on campus. Start with internal market. Okay? Unfortunately, COVID struck. The students spent all their money because I kept in contact with them and they blew it away. For 2023, you see, we leverage on locally available raw materials. They did cassava. And we taught them that, look, value addition, not just in words. I got them to look at the prices. For instance, June 2023 figures, we start with cassava. Nigeria is the #1 cassava producer in the world by a wide margin. At the farm gate, 1 ton of cassava was 30,000 naira. I don't know what it is today. If you convert it into starch, a ton of starch was 400,000 naira. But you needed 5 tons of cassava to get 1 ton of starch. That means 150,000 naira worth of raw material. It's still a very good margin. If you now enzyme or acid hydrolyze the starch to glucose, the value becomes 500,000 naira. If you now hydrogenate the glucose, you get sorbitol. The price was 917,000 naira. If you now use your sorbitol to make gel toothpaste, your gel toothpaste formulation is anything between 50 to 70% sorbitol. The value of toothpaste was 7.5 million naira for 1 ton. So we made this clear to them. They went into the marketplace, priced it, but I stopped them at the glucose level because I couldn't risk my hydrogenating plant. A very small 1 liter hydrogenating plant costs 23,000 euro. And when they come, they damage a lot of things. Why? Because they don't know, they haven't used those. Every year we lose glassware and a lot of instruments. So back to, sorry for the digression. Since the department is producing paint now, Nigeria has ilmenite. Ilmenite is the raw material from which we can get titanium dioxide. And your highest cost ingredient in your high quality paint is titanium dioxide. So what we would want to do is fund undergraduate projects in extracting titanium dioxide from ilmenite. If the department is okay with that, because it may not be in tandem with the projects you have. For instance, there may not be a lecturer interested in that project. So there'll be no undergraduate handling that. It's an offer. And then last but not least, it's alumni donations. And we are here. Next slide, please. Alumni donation is a huge source. And that I think is the easiest source of getting funding. So I have set the ball rolling by making 2 offers. I'm expecting my co-alumni to follow. You don't have to say anything now, but reach the department. This is a laudable objective, and we must support them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, sir, for that excellent presentation. The VC will respond for about 2 minutes before we take the next item on the program.
Thank you very much. Please, let's sit down, please. Thank you very much. I want, on behalf of the management of the university, and specifically on behalf of the Faculty of Science, Department of Chemistry, I really want to appreciate you. And thank you for this thought-provoking presentation that you have given to us, particularly with your kindness and generosity in wanting to set the pace. You have actually started in setting the pace again to providing all that is necessary based on your experience. You were there, went to the toilet, the taps were not running. You, especially your wife, we are going to take that up. We are going to, I didn't hear about this, but I haven't had that. We're going to take it up now. Because really, to be sincere to you, we've been working fervently to ensure that this issue of transcript is, the challenges there are off our neck. We found that for alumni, 2 things they said they needed. While in school, they need their results as when due. And when out, they want their transcripts, which nurtures them into the future. So we really recognize that, and we are not joking with it in the real sense of it. So I want to thank you for particularly this issue of power. Thank you for accepting to give us that solar power in the departments. And I really want to thank the government with respect to this also. The government is really trying. It looks like it's one of the key agendas of the current president in his renewed hope agenda. The REA is also helping a lot. And you know, Ife is rich. We are rich with you people all around. We have the first lady by our side. And so many other people that are working just to ensure that we have most of these things. But we really want to thank you. That department is a department, a startup department that is nurturing more than 5,000 students, or even if not more than that, servicing different other faculties all along. So we want to thank you for that. You also took up the component of funding undergraduate research. This is great. I want to thank you. We don't know the number, but I know that God will help you and help others to support this cause, to ensuring that most of our students are covered. Thank you very, very much for this. Again, you had laid the foundation. You are changing the outlook of the entire building, the faculty, with the paint. This is really great. That means as we are wearing this new look, and the equipment are coming in, we look smarter, the students will look smarter, the staff will look smarter, the entire landscape will look smarter. So we really want to appreciate you and actually request, just like you said, others to join in helping to really solve this problem. But at the same time, I want to implore others also to pay a visit to the departments, pay a visit to the faculty, and see for yourself to what extent you could also support this cause. We are also not, particularly those that are in the diaspora, it's not as if you have to come home to do all this. We need the support from all over there, even as adjunct lecturers, to support the department, support the university. We have most of this issue of brain drain, Japa syndrome, is still ongoing. And no matter what, we stop them. So, but as they go on, to be able to come back and do something for the system. And so we are requesting at the same time that others should join and be part of this. We also have opportunities for professorial chairs that some are actually trying to put across to us. We have somebody, one of alumni that had decided for his wife and himself, endowed a 1 billion for each of them for a professorial chair. In a professorial chair in, I think, economics and then in English. We also have the gerontology, in demography. This 1 billion, 1 billion, 1 billion. You know what that means. We also have opportunities for people coming up together to set up centers of excellence, set up innovation hubs. In fact, one of our alumni also had actually accepted really to help build up an entrepreneurship innovation hub. And these are some of the things that will help, particularly with this smart thing that we're talking about. Then we can institute prizes in the departments. Prizes in various forms. And this will, but what I normally like is people putting up legacy projects that will really write, they put the names in gold within the university that will be long lasting. And I want to just pray that God will continue to enrich you, give you the enablement to be able to do all this. Not quite long, we received from our alumni, one of our alumni, an ambulance, state-of-the-art ambulance. It's not the usual wagon something, no. Just got that, not quite long, to service the health center. And, almost everything is in that ambulance. So we really want to thank God that we have this taking place, and you, at least now, today, taking the lead as the keynote speaker here. Thank you very, very, very much. But I shouldn't go just like that. I want to appreciate again our father here. Thanks for hosting this. Thanks for creating this platform for us to be able to interact. Thanks for being there for us at all times. He's unrelenting. It should be well by God's grace. Thank you very much.
Olivia, and I'm a fifth-year PhD candidate at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale in the United States. I got my bachelor's degree from Olafemi Awolowo University, and I did research in natural products chemistry. Since I got to the US, I've seen the huge gap in how we do research compared to how I did research in Nigeria. During my bachelor's degree, My name is Faithful Olivia, and I am a fifth-year PhD candidate at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale in the United States. I got my bachelor's degree from Obafemi Awolowo University, and I did research in natural product chemistry. Since I got to the US, I've seen the huge gap in how we do research compared to how I did research in Nigeria. During my bachelor's degree, I had to sponsor my research by myself. While I had the moral and the academic help from my professors, of course, I lacked financial stability and I could not even complete just one project. In my years in the United States, I have met various Nigerian students, some of them from OAU itself, and our tenacity in the sight of adversity is something that is truly admirable. When we are provided with actual opportunities, we have soared to unimaginable heights, making significant discovery and headway in research and in academia. It would be extremely beneficial for such students that are still in Nigeria to have this same opportunity, and your funding and financial assistance would be of great help. Let us help these amazing scholars to reach their dream of bridging the gap between academia and research while still in Nigeria. Thank you.
So I would say adapting to advanced labs abroad after graduating from a department with limited instrumentation and resources was both eye-opening and challenging, right? Initially, of course, there's always a steep learning curve. Many of the techniques and instrumentation that were standard in my new lab, were completely unfamiliar to me, right? So some of that meant spending extra time learning. Our ability to learn obviously is not in doubt, right? So it's just taking that extra time now to refamiliarize yourself or learn a lot of the new instrumentation. And for me as well, part of one effect of that, especially in terms of delay, was as an organic chemistry PhD student, you have to take qualifying exams or CUMs. And out of 7 CUMs, I needed to pass 4 organic chemistry CUMs. Because I lacked a lot of the reaction mechanism fundamentals and things like that, that meant, most of my organic chemistry CUMs took me into my second year of PhD before I could pass all of them, because I needed a lot of, familiarize myself with a lot of the tools and, reaction mechanism concepts. But being immersed in a high resource environment also accelerated my technical skills, right? Pushed me to become more self-reliant, more adaptable. A PhD ultimately, or a graduate degree, is ultimately a problem-solving degree. So teaches you how to troubleshoot and problem solve, and just familiarize yourself with a lot of new concepts. When you lack certain instrumentation, especially at the undergraduate level, it will have an impact on your progress, because again, for a PhD that's a research-based degree, you need to ask the right questions, right? So, more oftentimes asking the right research questions leads to, the right approach. Start bringing up the right approach or ideas in your mind. So if you don't have a lot of the foundation, then you cannot ask. It will limit the scope of your research, because you don't even know how to start with the right questions, right? What are some of the outstanding technical challenges that need to be solved? So I think these challenges are twofold, right? One of it is the speed, getting up to speed in a new area, and also being able to formulate the right research questions to pursue. I think now, ultimately, though, like I said, the challenge is not about the learning. If you are driven and motivated, you can take the time to overcome that learning curve. But it's getting up to speed. I think it's probably one of the biggest challenges.
Hello dear, I'm Queen Oluwabumi Adebisi, a graduate student in Romero Lab at Baylor University, Waco, Texas, where we focus on synthetic methodology development. I graduated from Obafemi Awolowo University in 2023 with a bachelor's in chemistry. And one of the challenges I faced was lack of access to tools and instruments. For example, during my final year project, I had to run a GCMS analysis of my samples. Unfortunately, the university did not have that, so I had to prepare my sample and send it to another institution for analysis. But it got lost in transit. Imagine the time, the money, and the resources I have invested into the preparation of that sample. I had to go over the process again and re-prepare the sample and send it to another institution for analysis. This particular sample was again mishandled by the lab technician, and I almost missed my graduation because of that. This should not be so. In my lab here in Bello University, my lab alone has a GCMS machine, and there are various NMR machines available for student use in the institution, whereas Southwest Nigeria cannot boast of a simple and single functioning NMR machine. This is not unique to me. This is what a common chemistry undergraduate student face, and this is why the Smart Chemistry project is not chemistry project. We and you aim to equip our laboratories with modern day tools and instruments. We plan to eliminate dependency on external institutions, and we plan to empower research that focus on Nigeria's unique challenges such as drug development, pollution, and energy sustainability. Presently, many universities in Nigeria, including Obafemi Awolowo University, is stuck decades behind the global standard. Yes, and this is not due to lack of potential or lack of brain. It is just due to lack of access to modern day instruments. With you and with your investment, we hope to change the narrative. Thank you.
You are not just helping us build a lab, you are changing lives, literally. I remember during my undergraduate days at Obafemi Awolowo University, I once had to sleep in the laboratory overnight just because my column chromatography broke mid-run. I mean, I couldn't leave it. I had to stay. There were mosquitoes everywhere, no bed, no fan, just me, exhaustion, and my experiments. That was how far I had to go just to do basic science. Our lecturers were intelligent. We were hungry to learn, but the tools just were not there. And you know, brilliance without equipment, it's just like trying to run a race barefoot. When I eventually got the chance to study abroad and I stepped into a well-equipped laboratory for the first time, I was amazed. It was overwhelming. Then I realized that we were not lacking in intelligence. We just did not have the opportunity. So if you are thinking of giving, please know that this is not charity. It is investing in the next generation of OU scientists that can dream and do. It is investing in the people that will change the world. And this story can start with you. Thank you.
Obafemi Awolowo University was founded in 1961 as the University of Ife by the government of Western Nigeria, led by the late sage Chief Obafemi Awolowo.
The Department of Chemistry was one of the foundation departments of the university. The university was established in 1962. The academic staff members of the department, as at that time, were mostly foreigners, but through strategic human capacity building, as at today, almost 100% of the academic staff for the department are Nigerians, well trained both within the country and outside the country.
The university commenced academic activities in October 1962 with 5 faculties, which include the Faculty of Science.
But we have seen that there are quite a number of facilities that are not available for our students to really learn as much as they could when it's come to the practical aspects of chemistry.
While inadequate funding and decaying infrastructure is hindering the effectiveness of the department in the area of teaching and research.
Right from the beginning, the vision of the department is to be a top-rated university in Africa and one of the best in the world, and to contribute to the economy of Nigeria and the global economy by occupying strategic position in both Nigeria and global economy. And this is driving us of utilizing modern technology in both teaching and research work, so that ultimately we can produce high caliber graduates that can compete where anywhere in the world.
Like most Nigerian universities, Obafemi Awolowo University is faced with challenges related to funding and decaying infrastructure.
Chemistry is not a local citizen. It is an international citizen, just like every science-based course is an international citizen. Whatever that applies to chemistry here is what should apply to it in the US. Anywhere you find yourself across the globe, we must be able to speak the same language. The only thing that is lacking is not the manpower, but the facility.
The state of learning facilities and laboratory in the department is a pressing concern to the academic staff and students of the department.
None of the fume hoods are actually working, and for an organic research lab, that is quite major, because a lot of the things that we use are solvents that are quite volatile in nature. So it is important for our fume hoods to really work and hopefully help conduct most of the fumes out of the laboratory space. In addition, the only oven in the lab, situated somewhere at the back there, is now non-functional, which is a bit of a problem, because students wash glassware and things, and they're supposed to be able to dry within a few minutes so that they can continue working. Okay, and so some of these things that are basic at the moment we're struggling with. It doesn't mean we're totally unable to do anything. It just means it takes us so much more time, and you have to really plan yourself as a student to be able to get anything going under these kind of laboratory conditions.
The Smart Chemistry Project is poised to usher in a new era in Nigerian tertiary education. To achieve this groundbreaking initiative, the chemistry department is reaching out for support and collaborations.
Currently, the department is facing a couple of challenges in terms of its facilities in the lab, and we have outdated equipment in the lab, making it unfit for the research.
And also, the classroom seats are not in good condition for learning. And we would also like to have a smart TV in the lab, in the classroom, so that the lecturer will be able to show us some things online while learning.
The chemistry department at Obafemi Awolowo University has a rich history and equally boasts of a significant academic staff strength.
For an organic laboratory where you do a lot of synthetic work as well as natural product chemistry, you need to have quite a lot of reagents, and at the moment those are some of the things that you see. So if you look At the back, you can see so many old reagent bottles and things that we have. But the truth is, there has to be a systematic way of, discarding some of those ones that are now no longer working properly, and then hopefully we'll replace them with new reagents.
In tackling these challenges, the departmental board has initiated a smart chemistry project. This initiative, which is quite phenomenal, aims to transform the department into a world-class institution, elevating its standards and reputation.
This is the reason why when I came on board, I inaugurated a committee called the Smart Chemistry Committee to see how we can practice chemistry in the department in a smart way.
And to change the situation in the department, we have come to this idea of the smart chemistry. Changing everything to match up with what you can find anywhere globally. And that is the purpose of this smart chemistry program. Not just to put color on our building, but to ensure that the needed equipment are available and the students have access to those things. These are the things that make the students to enjoy their learning and at the same time to have effective understanding of what they are being taught in the class regularly.
I'm really excited about the smart chemistry project that the Department of Chemistry is embarking on. You've gone around to some of the laboratories and you've seen the deplorable state of many things, and we have decided to take action. We want to upgrade the whole department, not just for the recent students, but for it to even become a culture of the department to upgrade, so that our students can match up with those who are outside of the country. However, we cannot do this alone. It's a big project. We are changing lecture halls. We want to change the laboratory. We want to change people's offices. We have so much plans, and we are really excited about it. Currently, we started with our smart board, which everybody is excited about, and we are looking forward to carrying out all the changes we expect to see.
We know this will cost a lot of money. Actually, our projection is about 3 billion naira. We are starting in a small way. We've interacted with a few people in the country, and they have started donating to the cost of the smart chemistry. And that's why we are still inviting as many alumni within and outside Nigeria to key in to this vision. We know where we're going is to produce high caliber graduate. And here that will happen, we need smart facilities that can make us to achieve this goal.
Things are changing fast across the globe. And part of what we believe we work is to ensure that the technologies that are currently available, we make good use of those technologies and use that as a means to attract more students even from outside the four walls of our environment here. And I believe with the necessary support, obviously,
we are still inviting as many alumni within and outside Nigeria to key in to this vision. We know where we're going is to produce high caliber graduate. And here that will happen, we need smart facilities that can make us to achieve this goal. Our aim is not just to be the best university in Nigeria, but to be one of the top-rated universities in the world. That's our goal. And we know that this we can achieve, not by ourselves alone, by our partners. When I say our partners, these include the alumni, the industry, and government. So everybody is welcome on board. I took into this our vision.
Smart Chemistry Project endorsed by Natural Tropical Limited, makers of Dudosun, the Beauty Black Soap, Great Ife Alumni Association of Bafemi Awolowo University, Minds, Minnesota Institute of Nigerian Development, and Save Our School campaign powered by Positivity Network. Hi, I'm Olubi Abai, alumni of Obafemi Awolowo University. I'm all in on Smart Chemistry Project, and I think you should too, because it's a smart thing to do.
But no, there's never been a better time.
And the digitization of the entire structure and processes that happen inside the building. Next slide, please. So the proposed design will cover both the internal and external structure of the departments, all right? So it will include landscaping and then revamping laboratories, classrooms, office furniture, and then also restoring the utility. Next slide. So in our dream, this is what we envision for chemistry department. It's still a dream anyway. So we have a dream of what it should look like during the day, and we have a dream of what it should look like at night. That's what you can see projected up there. Next slide. So look at one of the teaching labs. The camera that we use is photogenic. So that teaching lab upstairs is still looking beautiful, you know. But the one down there is our dream. That is what we look forward to. Next slide. And that is a research lab. That's the lab that we were talking about. We try to clean it up a little bit, but irrespective of that, you can see that the research lab of our dream is several quantums better than what we have now. Next slide. So that is our very popular chemistry 102 that we also call oven because the place is as hot as hell. But as hot as it is, we still have lectures there. And the lighting is poor. There's no ventilation, no air conditioning. A lot of the chairs are broken and there's no PA system, but we still use it anyway. Now, next slide. The next slide, please. This is our dream. This is what we are looking forward to. Now, this is the front view of what we want. Next slide. Yeah, so if you look, the picture up shows you the rear view of what that oven looks like. You can see that the lecture is actually going on in there as hot as it is. But that is what we envision. And we hope that it's going to be fully air conditioned by the time we get to that point. Next slide. Okay, so these are smaller classrooms within the chemistry department building that we are looking forward to. And we hope that all of those classrooms, we have smart boards too. Next slide. The corridors. Unfortunately, we couldn't put a picture of one of the very funny corridors that we have right now, but that is what we envision. And then the offices. That office is the engine room. That is where everything happens. The thoughts, the ideas, the research innovations, and the concepts that we want to project into the whole world have to happen in offices that look like that. I'm praying that God will help us.
So in terms of the utility restoration, we have the electrical systems that we are targeting, the mechanical systems, and the plumbing systems. Next slide. So thankfully, we have Mr. Abiola Ogunride say something about solar. You know, we already have it in our blueprint in terms of revamping, because there's no way you can make that building smart without a regular supply of electricity. And we know what the epileptic power supply is like currently. So we already have this vision that the entire roof of the chemistry section of the White House building will have strings of solar panels that will power things within the building. Next slide. Now, these laboratories we are talking about is not just about aesthetics. We also want to make sure that the laboratories are functional. You know, having state-of-the-art equipment that will allow us to do cutting-edge research at this time. Next slide. So, computerization. This computerization will involve smart solutions, learning management systems. Next slide. And the smart solutions will include smart attendance systems, smart screens, smart podiums, smart access systems. And the learning management system will include centralized academic resource hub within the department, administrative digitization, e-library, and notification systems. Flexible learning environments, incorporating artificial intelligence as teaching assistants, very doable. And then we have the student performance tracking as part of the learning management system. Next slide. Now, that is a summary of the budget. It took us a very long time to get to these points. We had to put together a lot of things, but this is the summary as projected. Next slide. Now, this is where it gets interesting. That building was designed for 100 or less students, but now we have over 1,000 students. We need more space. Next slide. And so, even as we are looking forward to revamping the entire White House building, which is critical and necessary at this time, we are also hoping that we will get an additional building to have more office spaces, bigger classrooms, and better rooms to house some of the state-of-the-art equipment that we are hoping to get very soon. Next slide. Thank you all for your generosity.
I don't feel bad, I just start to feel but the next people they stop them people. Which like Chris, you want to today. Your friends will be if you eat your way. I'm not trying if you don't find
We now move on to the fundraising now, and to drive this is an enigma, a figure that has the wherewithal to do justice to that. Professor Dapo Afolabi. Please, let's put hands together for him, sir.
Thank you very much. My Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Dean of Deans, Head of Departments, our keynote speaker, great entrepreneur and industrialist. When I look at the all, and also weigh the effort made to get people to come here, and be part or renewal of what we have all enjoyed. Seriously, I'm disappointed. But disappointment is not going to deter us. It just means, I don't know if we still do it at IFE now, that you fail the paper, but you didn't fail all others. You will not be promoted, but they give you a chance for receipt. So we may have to receive this because we should not give up. 7 billion naira is not a small distance. We have to raise this money and more. I will raise the bar to 10 billion naira because inflation is faster than we can imagine. You see, when you see Professor Olomola's laboratory, the question you're going to ask yourself is, how did we get here? Clearly, it's years of neglect, years of forgetting how our forebearers took care of everything. But our generation forgot that you just only, it's not just that you'll be eating, you should be baking at the same time. But we've eaten everything to the dry bone. So we just must remind ourselves, as I said, we have to receipt this. For those online who could not come physically, don't say to yourself, the way somebody said here, just that, how can you come and do PhD here? Nigeria is blessed. Truly, it is blessed. Out of nothing, you are bringing out something. If anybody who is supervising journal, journal the articles in your scientific journals, enter your laboratory, will say 0, will not accept anything you have done. Because the dust itself is enough to give you false values, especially if you are analyzing iron content. You already have preponderance of iron all over you. So, but you are still producing something. It means you are adaptable. You have found a way to produce something out of nothing. So the challenge today is that, yes, we are here. We are not money bags, but we want to produce something out of the little that we have. We cannot be charging ourselves. Please, how many of us are external to IFE that they are not making their living from IFE today? How many in this hall? Not making living. I know Engineer Fine is here, came to keep us company. By the way, it's also Great IFE, but I think yours was engineering and elect, okay. But in the oil industry, is a managing director of a big company now. But it cannot be an elect without chemistry 101. So it's a chemist. So only one. Who again? Okay. So we have 3. You can see we cannot be charging ourselves. So it's only, I think 5 of us here that will be charged to carry 10 billion, starting from Dudu Osun. So as I said, really, we just have to have a repeat of this. How we will do it that be more successful is what we should be thinking. We will learn from our fall. This is a fall, but we will not lay flat. We should pick ourselves back again. So we all know how much we are looking for. We also want to learn from the wisdom of those who really know how to raise or use money, not raise money, use money. And also how they can get what they will need to get the money, and what strategy they also use to get the money. And I learned we start small. I learned that. So let us now break down these projects to very small units that can allow us to do it serially without any disruption. The example given now, the solar, although today it is the solar we know, we don't know what will come next as the power source. Maybe it's hydrogen bottles we'll be carrying about and will give us. But today is solar. Let us try to address today's problem and ensure that we have 24/7 power. It's really very shameful that we all enjoy 24/7 power, and I mean it. As undergraduates at TIFE was 24/7. But we are handing over to our generation maybe 1/7, 1 hour. It's a shame, seriously. So I will not want to charge those of you who are already sacrificing in kind, our VC, our DVC. So let's leave that. But the 5 of us, we should not leave here without dropping something. So the papers are with you. Just try to, you don't have to make it public. We will collect your pledge and we will do that. Well, let me appreciate something. The Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, you will say you are doing your job, that you are here. But I'm really impressed that you could sit all through and you are really alive to your responsibilities. See the way you are still pushing on, that this project is just the beginning of several others that will happen to this department. I know you are doing many others in the other parts of the university, but this department is neglected, I must tell you. You are not the only one to experience the toilet. I think I was at TIFE. I drew your attention to it that, no toilet, everywhere locked. And we took it up. Yeah, and we just said so why this is not working now, let us find out. It's not good enough that people could come and the simplest of service is the toilet. If it means just the way they do here, you can see here now, there's somebody there. When you go to the toilet, is servicing it anytime. So let's employ people who will be there permanently. As people use anything it cleans, like that report of one that is not, you will quickly report it. Maybe it's just a pin valve that, so please, let's do little things. So let's start small. From what we have seen here now, if we are starting big, we'll be disappointed. So let's take one step at a time. We start small, 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 small. So something also hit me while I was sitting there. And that was a suggestion that came out of the nomenclature for several things that the Vice Chancellor just mentioned. And in Yoruba, orúkọ máa ń ro ọmọ. And we have seen many. I'm not If you say your son is Olorire, you'll be finding out that everywhere he goes, it's just luck, luck, luck. If your son is otherwise, they be beat him every day. Orúkọ ń ro ọmọ. Orúkọ ń ro ọmọ. So let us think of that name for chemistry department. Initially, I think you still remain chemistry. You didn't say you are chemistry and pure and applied chemistry. Chemistry. And let's think about it. Go home and think about it. I want to suggest to you what I said. Orúkọ ń ro ọmọ. Ó máa ń fa oore wá. Can we say Department of Pure, Applied, and Business Chemistry? You see, the reason I'm thinking like this is yourself, you'll be reorienting your content so that by the, okay, you know what they did in physics, and their numbers what? Physics and engineering physics, that was it. That was it. So, because chemistry, when you finish, you are left dry. Unless God puts creativity in your head and you start. So, but from the beginning now, if you can get your graduates from day one, when they leave that university, they have hit the ground running and they become big entrepreneurs. Vice Chancellor, I know you are here. Let's think about this just to find a way to enable people to appreciate you just from your name. Let's think about this. Vice Chancellor, I also like one strategy from you, which is legacy projects. Legacy projects. So in selling this, because as I said, we are going to receipt too. When we are repackaging, we should again break this down into legacy projects components. I'm just thinking loud. Say we have the head of department's office, okay? Because I saw your office, now old school. No office looks like that again, even in Lagos, yeah, you can't find it. So we can say that an alumnus will adopt your office and it will be in perpetuity. The children will inherit it. Everybody, you can name it after that family. Or Deyemi, office of the head of department of chemistry. So their family must ensure that that place does not go down. Because the way it's going, even if you have all the autonomies in the world for the university, because that's what I advocate, that universities should have 100% autonomy. Even if that's what you have, you will still be short of fund. Because if you're a futurist, I try to peep into the future a bit, it's clearly written that, or predicted, that university that will survive up to the 22nd century, not even too far, to be those that will sustain their funding. So it is predicted that many universities will collapse in the 22nd century. So this is the time to find the antidote to collapse. So we must be looking for ways to ensure that we have the required funding. And VC, I know you are working hard, but one thing I will encourage you to do is to find a way. Okay, let me say this. When it was really difficult for a retiree at the level of permanent secretary to feed himself or herself after retirement, because they were only on 96,000 a month. How can a permanent secretary who had tons of security, all this, everything, new shirt, new coat, every day, now out of office, 96,000. But he's not the only one suffering from that kind of deficiency. All the directors, assistant directors, when they retire. But in his strategy, small. So we picked just that cadre of permanent secretaries and we got them to be earning 1.1 million a month at that time, which was good enough. So what I'm trying to suggest now is that let's go and create something that will enable IFE and for professors, minimum of 20 million a month. Minimum. If you get to that, where is a professor? No, the guy that I've just finished now. He says he's a dreamer. Let's start to fantasize. Because when we put the idea down, when you fantasize, you start thinking of how to get there. That's why the Yorubas are saying they have Kanoko. Do we know Kanoko? Those of us who are younger. That if you're coming from Lagos and you are going to Ibadan, if you put Kanoko in your pocket, you just walk and get there in a few. Has anybody ever done it? It's fantasy. But you know that in truth, those who didn't think of it that way, they've achieved it. Augmented reality. If you want to be in London now, you sit there, somebody else is, you won't leave your seat, but you do everything you want to do in a different way. So let's fantasize that during your tenure, professors will earn nothing less than 20 million. If you do that, you will see how diverse your environment will become. You find a lot of from everywhere in the world. And for you to achieve that is that you have 100% autonomy. So also work for that. We must volunteer to be able to do that. Let's put us together. It will not be rebellious. If you have a group under the DVC innovation to say, how do we achieve 100% autonomy? How? And what do we do if we get this independence? Because we need to prototype a university to solve this problem. This problem, if it continues, you just find professors saying, I'm just a professor, I'm just a You are not just a professor. God has endowed you with super intellect that you could become a professor. Not everybody can become a professor. So you cannot just be a professor. You are a special breed, and that breed must be sustained. All of us in the society must find a way to sustain you there so you can pull the society with you. You are the only group that can keep the society at the cutting edge of development. No other group. Otherwise, Nigeria will just be a consumer nation. Finish. And the day they close the tap of consumption, destroyed. So universities, you are challenged. I'm so proud of IFE. So IFE, hopefully, will be in the forefront of leading this new initiative. IFE is seen as a front runner. Anywhere, anytime. Remember, when we finished at IFE, it was automatic admission to Cambridge, to MIT, to Harvard, to everywhere. So it's not just Ife, it is great Ife. So let's remain great, for today. I think what we have done mainly is we celebrated birthday, which is not a regret, because again, if you are 90, it's worth celebrating. So don't regret coming here. But please, we need to go back to the drawing board. We go back to VC's office to re-strategize and see how we can get. It is doable, we will get it. By the grace of God, the 10 billion, the construction, rehabilitation, renewal projects will be achieved in Jesus' name. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming. Thank you for all the spare time. Thanks so much. Please sit down. They are online. Please, those online, I am not sure if there's a facility to project the accounts. Also, let's project account to them, no matter how small. My people online, it's just that it's impossible for me to take microphone to you and then you can announce. Do you have a facility really to make them, to show them and then they announce? Huh? Okay, so bring all of them, project them. So let's have a pledge from them. Can we see them on the screen? Sorry, VC, just a few more minutes, we'll be over. No, if you can't, okay, they are hearing us. Project them so they can give a. Okay, let them just give their pledge, and we can't see them. All right. We will just devise ways. Please, those of you in diaspora, who invited them? Okay. We have should we be announcing by name? Now there's a challenge. I can't read this. Can someone read? Can someone read? Okay, I can. That's no the first Olabanji. Afiz Olayinka. Unmute yourself and maybe you can say something. It's not working, but you've heard us. Okay, you've heard us. Please, do you have, what contact do they have? Okay. So everybody, please send chats to us, how much you want to give to us, okay? How is he able to contact you? And what I don't know is, going beyond now, who they will contact and then they'll be able to give their donation. Huh? Okay. Please, can you project to them the telephone number and the account number of or where the money will go, so that we don't leave here. So we want to thank you seriously for coming, and let's also thank this location. For those of you who don't know much about Metropolitan Club. Metropolitan Club is a creation of the colonial masters, and it was designed to have the who is who in the leadership of the society to belong. And it is also a unique club where it's male only on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays at 1 p.m., we have lunch here, 1 to 3, male only in black suits. And the membership is by invitation, not by application. So you are invited. And on the list today, you can find all presidents, ambassadors, businessmen, and a balance of young and old. On your way out, if you look at the right, you will see a list of those who have national honors. And in fact, they have the highest of the highest is GCFR. There are many GCFRs there, and so on and so forth. So it's a privilege to allow us to use here. So we want to thank them that they allow us to use them. We should find one of you from Ife to come here to be good. so to be joining us, because it is really you maybe you won't appreciate the way I feel personally about Ife. I got to Ife, I think about 16, 17, and I knew no other place until 1990. So my whole developmental phase was Ife. And I enjoyed it, no regret at all. Yet, if I was in the village, in quotes, but it was at the center of the globe, because we had contact with everywhere in the world. Some of my days, you'll find me not even locking my office, and I'm already in the US. I was all over. It was that, the pressure was like that. We were invited everywhere in the world while still at Ife. So may such glorious day return to Ife. Well, we must work hard. You just must work hard to get it. I'm glad VC Innovation is here, because it's VC Innovation. Is create this. Think about it. New ways of doing things. Let's query the present. Everything is not about money. That in my time, Ife is not second class. In my time, Ife is back. That people are looking for the best of environment, of classroom, of life, of everything is Ife. May it be so in Jesus' name.
Now we can now stand to welcome him back to his seat. Let's keep clapping, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep appreciating somebody who put Ife first. Thank you very much, sir. Please, we can be seated now. You know, when he was talking, I wanted to copy him. I wanted to be speaking like him so that I won't make noise. You know, I want to call on Professor Latifat Duro-Semi for the vote of thanks. So let's appreciate her as she comes on. Honestly, Prof. Sir, you diss me. You diss me. And I thank you, sir. I thank you.
Thank you very much, International PRO. Distinguished guests, distinguished audience, it is with much pleasure that I come before you to give the closing remarks and the vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of Chemistry of Obafemi Awolowo University. First, we thank Almighty God for the event, the successful events that we planned, and we're able to hold it successfully. We thank Almighty God for that. Secondly, our keynote speaker, our own, I wanted to say professor. You know, when he came to the lecture, we call him professor. Mr. Abiola Ogunride. Thank you for being there all the time. The third stage of our smart journey started with you. You remember when you came to Ife? It was a very stimulating, educative, not lecture. It was like mentoring, interaction on entrepreneurship, consultancy then. And you not only gave the lecture, you followed up immediately with donations of the equipment for our factory. The Department of Chemistry paint factory. Thank you so much. The reward of goodness is nothing but goodness. That's the promise. You find it in the glorious Quran, chapter 55, verse 60. And you have followed up today with a solar panel. We can't wait to have it in our department. Thank you so much. Next to our chief host, Professor Dapo Afolabi, our teacher, our pride. We thank you so much, Professor Afolabi. The journey started with a visit to your place, in your house, in December 2023. The HOD ensured that he bundled me into the car to come to Lagos. And then we started the journey together. And you initiated the second stage, which was a breakfast meeting with us at the department, at the OAU premises in April 2024. And since then, it was followed by a retreat, which Mr. Ogunride came in July 2024. We cannot thank you enough, but we continue to pray for you. And we pray that everything that concerns you will go well with you by the special grace of Almighty God. Thank you so much. The other host, our visionary, smart VC, Professor Banile. We thank you for the support, sir. And then to our other hosts, our dean, our very energetic Dean Faculty of Science, my Aburo. Please clap for him. We thank you for the support. Thank you so much. And then the other host, our smart HOD, Professor Akinyomo Akinlua. Thank you for being a leader, and thank you for your tenacious characteristics. Professor Akinlua, well done. Thank you so much. To my colleagues, distinguished alumni, physical and virtual, we thank all of you, some of our students. I could see Ayobami, I supervise. Ayobami, when did you graduate? I supervise your BS. When did you graduate, no? Okay, okay. You are still young. Thank you so much for coming. We thank all of you, our friends, our well-wishers, the engineer. Thank you for coming to grace this occasion. We thank all of you, the crew, the event manager, the members of the crew, the press people, and then our international PRO and the assistant. We thank all of you for coming. We thank you so much for everything, and we continue to praise God. And then I'm very sure in no distant time, the 10 billion will be realized. And we shall all be very happy to have our smart chemistry department. A round of applause for class. Okay.
Thank you very much. For anything that has the beginning must of necessity come to an end. We have come to the end of this program today. Shall we please stand for Gratify Anthem? Buki, are you playing? And after that, the first stanza of the national anthem. You for fusing the two together. The alumni, please, should wait after this just for a brief meeting. On this note, with the kind permission of Professor Dapo Afolabi. Good afternoon and have a nice weekend. Bless you.